Right, yes, it is Thursday, the 20th of February. It is 8:15. And guess what? We have Charlie and Danny in the studio from No Rest for the Spacemen. Welcome into the studio, lads.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Well, it's finally that we got you in.
It's been a lot of back and forth. Yeah.
I think one of the first times was you guys had a gig, I think. And then I was away somewhere, I think.
That was the first Space Fest, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was all a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So you two are here, but there are other members.
Yes.
We'll just shout them out quickly. Do you want to shout them out?
Yeah.
Shout out to Dan and Alex, yeah.
Cool. How comes they're not here? Just doing bits and pieces?
Yeah,
just they're
Or you're just the front guys, aren't you?
front guys. Yeah.
Every band has them. The first question I need to know, No Rest for the Spacemen is probably one of the best band names I've ever heard.
Thank you so much.
That is honestly genuine from my heart. Do you know, like, when you see, like, maybe Hammersmith Apollo, I think it's called something different now, the Hackney Empire, and you see it outside, it would look so perfect outside there. But where did it come from?
Oh mate, I wish it had a better story. It's just one of them. It's just one of them AI band name generators.
Oh, is it an AI one?
Literally, man. It was
the takeover.
We saw it and it's so perfect for us.
What did you put into AI to get No Rest for the Spacemen though?
Oh, I can't remember. Honestly. It was a long time ago. It was indie.
I know Spacemen was definitely there.
Spacey stuff, you know.
Well, what's the story then behind the spacey things?
Oh mate, I don't
Bunch
know.
of space cowboys over here.
I just like the idea of it.
It is cool.
You know, these kind of things don't necessarily need much meaning. I like that this band name doesn't tell you anything about us.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you have to kind of dig deeper to find out what we're all about.
I feel like Elon Musk will see your name and be like, No Rest for the Spacemen, I like it. Yeah. You'll be the first band. You'll be the first band to play on Mars.
Oh mate, if you're listening, Elon.
Massive fan of the show. Massive fan. Him and DT, mate, are all about it. Awesome, man. So for anyone who's listening for the first time, like, finding out about No Rest for the Spacemen, how would you describe your sound in your own words?
Well, it's indie, but if you listen to our tracks, and especially the new one we've got coming out, it is quite, we're still kind of in a bit of an experimental phase with our music. We're still figuring everything out.
Every song's very different, I think.
Yeah.
For us at the moment, but
which we love about our music as well. It's fun, you know.
But that is the fun part, right?
Yeah. It's fun when we get to play a set and like we switch up the sound quite a lot during a half an hour set.
Because I guess you're in that kind of, you're on the rise, let's say. You're definitely on the rise, I'll tell you that. So I guess that you are at that point where no one's, because I only say it because Bob Dylan, I saw the film recently, and he went from folk to kind of electronic, and everyone at the Newport Folk Festival went mad, and it was like, well, why are you changing up? Whereas you guys can actually, you're right, you can change your sound. How often does that happen though?
Every time we write a song.
Because there's four of you, how do you go about it, if that makes sense?
in terms of songwriting.
Yeah.
Well,
Charlie really is the
because you're the man for songwriting, because I have in my notes that you spent 2 years honing your songwriting.
Yeah, so I have kind of a catalogue of songs that I wrote at uni, and then I took them to the band, and they put music behind it, and I think every song's so different because we all have such different music taste, and we kind of all hate each other's genre of music, but it all weirdly ties together really well.
Somehow, it just
somehow
pulls together in the end.
But surely that's a good thing though. Like the more genres you've got, the more experience and more, things you can sort of experiment with.
We can have a lot of fun with it. We can have a lot of fun with it. Everyone's bringing different ideas to the table. And sometimes you get a bit hot-headed and we're trying to figure out stuff and you're like, no, I like this, no, I like that. But then once you work through that and we can make some pretty good music about it.
But that's being a band, right?
Yeah.
You have to take the good with the bad and the ugly, right?
Me and him do drive each other nuts sometimes, but I know he loves me.
What is the creative process like then for you two? Like, because obviously you've got like the songwriting thing, you've done your 2 years thing, and like, how is it like, because do you feel like you're in a position where you're like, well, hang on a minute, like butting heads where you're like, no, I don't want to give up this song, like this is my idea, how is it, like, how do you resolve things?
Sometimes I think we've had that issue.
Yeah.
I think what we've done at the moment is we have an idea and then we kind of go away for a week, meet up, and then just honestly show each other our new ideas with that song or whatever.
Having space from each other does help.
Yeah.
It does, if everyone's good. It does, yeah. We'll have an idea and we can't figure out what to do with it, and then someone will be in bed at 2 a.m. and think, that's what we need, and then we come back next week and we work it out. But like, it's a long process. It's not something that we can just like. Some of our songs, to be fair, we have written in a day, but you know, now we're taking longer, more thought behind the songs. Yeah,
I love that you said that you get ideas at 2:00 in the morning because, like, my fiance absolutely hates me having ideas because I'm hung over the bed, like, with my phone out, like, I've got the next brilliant idea, and it's, you know, it's just like
for it.
Yeah, something about it.
Yeah, because some people are morning writers. Who was I listening to recently? Danny Jones from McFly, and he said all of his best music ideas always come late at night when everyone's gone to bed and it's him on his own and he's had a whole day to think about this stuff.
Yeah.
So you more morning, afternoon or evening, like sort of writing sessions?
Oh, definitely evening for me. Yeah.
I'd say evening. It's sort of when you're getting a bit lucid and you're going to sleep and then suddenly something comes up and you can...
I don't think I've ever had a decent idea before midday.
Or before coffee's kicked in.
Yeah.
I love that. Right, so you've had 3 songs out?
Yeah.
3
officially.
Yeah.
Mash, Goodbye Jane, which we play a lot on Raw Vibes here, and Somebody Like You.
Yeah.
How has it been with, like, you know, you've got the hat trick now. So how is it kind of knowing that you've got something, got 3 songs behind you? Or how was it bringing out your first song as a band?
The first song was wild. The first song was a lot of fun. Like, me and Charlie have been making music together on and off for...
Probably since we were 16.
Yeah, 16, 17.
Yeah.
And we barely even finished a song before this band, the rest of the Spacemen, and now to finally have a song out. And it did really well on Spotify, and our radios are playing it, which was just dream come true.
So which I don't know if this is true or not, you had one of the songs played at Vicarage Road at Watford?
All 3 of them have been.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have been played at Watford?
Yeah.
Obviously we are Watford, like, Watford's our team, man, like here at Vibe 107.6.
Yeah.
So how is that, having it in, like, the big speakers, around, like, you know, the whole crowd's there, the players are out warming up and your song playing?
Yeah.
That is wild.
It was unreal. It's unreal to see. So our drummer, Dan, he's massive Watford boy, and he's, you know what I mean? You don't ask, don't get. And
No,
he just
exactly,
shot loads of emails, and eventually they're like, yeah, we like your song, we'll play it. And that's just how a lot of the opportunities have come about, really.
Yeah.
Was he in the stadium at the time?
Yeah, he's been to everyone, yeah.
No way.
So you get to see it still. I would love to.
Yeah, I've never been to, I've been to football gigs, really, but...
So did they tell him it was going to happen, or was he just kind of, you know...
Yeah, they told him where and when.
And then he was like, hang on a minute, I recognise this tune. Because that would be wild.
That would have been really wild if they didn't tell him and then they just played it.
Imagine it. Just, hang on, I recognise this one.
This one.
Well, Elton John's a Watford boy, and that's a shame that he sold up before this has all happened.
Oh, we're still hoping that he might, you know, one day hear something about the young boys from Watford playing music at the stadium. And
Elton John featuring No Rest for the Spacemen. I want to see that happen.
I feel like he would like the name.
I feel
he'd
like,
appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. Rocket Man. like Rocket Man, Spaceman. He's already been here, man. Well, you know, Watford are doing quite well at the moment, so it could be playoffs, you know. Yeah, we could have a big Watford promotional party. Vibe 107.6 presents Watford's promotion party to the Premiership. I'll get involved, get you guys involved. Look, Watford, if you're listening, look, we're doing the hard work for you. Like, all you gotta do is just say yes. Right, guys, we've been talking for a while. So, how about we get the first song?
Love to.
Which one are we going for?
This is our first single. This is Somebody Like You.
Can't wait. Right, well, when you're ready, boys.
Thank you. You decide if I'm wrong or right, or if I'm on the line, 'cause I have messed up a million times, but it's nothing quite like this. And anyhow, and anytime, although with every line you speak I've seen it behind your eyes, I would leave my mind for yours. 'Cause I've never met somebody like you in all my life, no, not ever. And I never thought that somebody like you could hold my heart down forever. And when I'm low, it's like she knows, puts on my favorite songs so I can't hear myself alone. When I think too deep, and breakfast in your parents' house when I thought I was much too loud. You know I always do when it's never true, I know. 'Cause I've never met somebody like you in all my life, no, not ever. And I never thought that somebody like you could hold my heart down forever. Now it feels like I'm coming home. Yes, I know something has changed in my tone. 'Cause I've never met somebody like you in all my life, no, not ever. And I never thought that somebody like you could hold my heart down forever. No, I never met somebody like you in all my life, no, not ever. And I never thought that somebody like you could hold my heart down forever.
I mean, it was like that song was made for On Air Acoustic.
Oh,
love that one. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Love that one. Somebody Like You from No Rest for the Spacemen. Love that, boys. That's how you kick it all off. That's how.
yeah, that's where it all started, that song.
I mean, why that one? Because I always feel like when you're about to release a song, it's like you must have this like, there must be so much going on in your head, especially as a band.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we actually only decided, we had the studio booked and we only decided
On the drive up, I think.
the drive up
Yeah.
which song we were going to do. And I think the last practice before that session, we played this song just to finish it off.
Yeah.
And we all looked at each other and we kind of knew we wanted to play this one.
Yeah.
We wanted to record this one.
that's such a lovely way of doing it.
yeah.
Like the way you just have this is a look. Like I love that.
Yeah, we were in the practice room, we were like, oh, come on, man, it's got to be this one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously, like Charlie, you've been writing so many songs. So you've got a big catalogue of songs. And then, I guess, do you write that song? I've just presumed you write it just because you've done your 2 years. And why was it that one you took to the band out of all the ones you could have done?
I think it was the one that was kind of almost the most unfinished in a way, which allowed everyone to kind of get in on it and do their bit, and I think which is probably why it ended up being the first one we did, because it was a bit of all of us.
Yeah.
And I think you can hear that in the song, and I think that's why we had that look when we were all like, oh, we're a band now, it's, you know, it's become something.
That's mad. I love that.
It didn't even have the bridge when you brought it to us. I mean,
No.
we played it at open mics without the bridge and then figured that one out, and then...
That was, and it changed in the studio again, so...
Yeah, it changed a lot when we took it to the studio. Our producer Gav, like, showed us all these different ways of thinking about the song and really developed the song there as well.
So that's a crazy thing. Because, like, with a song, I guess, like, most people, like, well, not most people, but, like, a lot of artists will just write a song and that is it. Where you guys have given yourself the chance to play around with it.
Yeah,
which
nothing's set in stone until we record it, at least.
We started off writing, when I was writing it was for open mics, and then I started writing for live gigs, and now it's sort of like, I think about the studio when I'm writing and how will that change.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's changed a lot, even the writing process.
And you can kind of tell the difference between the songs that you've written for live.
Yeah.
Like MASH, for instance, when we were gigging in that, versus the newer ones where you're writing for the studio. And it's nice to have a bit of, like, different things to write for and different, like, goals in mind when you're doing music. Yeah.
I think that's really interesting, actually. I've never really thought about that you could do something for an open mic, something live, something studio, like what, and how it can all change. No one's sort of said that to me on Air Acoustic, so I really like that. I really love, like, such a cool way of thinking about it, because, like, I guess when you do something in the studio, how does it feel going back out and performing the track that everyone is now used to hearing?
Can be a challenge.
Can imagine.
It can be a challenge when you add like synths and piano parts and different guitar parts, and like we've got to play this with 2 guitars. But it's a fun challenge, and when you make it work, it's really nice to take that song that everyone's listening to and be able to play it live for them as like a different thing now that we've gone and performed.
And in doing that, we've then come up with new bits, trying to figure it out, and then gone, I wish I knew that before I recorded it.
If you ever hear Goodbye Jane live, the bit that we've added to it is just great, and we really wish we'd had that recorded. But
I was about to say, we've had that song on Raw Vibes a fair few times.
Yeah, we really appreciate
sort of
that.
like promoting you guys coming on for today. So people who have listened to Raw Vibes and On Air Acoustic are going to be in for a treat, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. So like, it's just with everyone else with part of the band, it's how often does it, like, because so you're guitarist and singer. Do you vocals as well?
No, just guitar.
So are you only, like, you're the only vocalist of the band?
Yeah.
So, does anyone else, because if you're writing, it's got to be your voice, if that makes sense. So, it's got to have your style. Like, how hard is that to be? Because now I'm just really on this songwriting thing. I find it so interesting.
Well, no, that is a trouble that we've had, because, like, you had a couple of songs that we had to rewrite some of the verses because it just didn't, like, I couldn't get into it, or it didn't fit my voice, and so there is an element of that.
And it can be quite difficult because it means that only you can do the singing. So if we're writing a song and you have to think of the singing in mind, it kind of has to be on you to do that. Yeah. But you make it work. He's a very talented lad.
Oh mate, we've just listened to it. Like, I've got you on my Spotify. Like, I've heard it all before, man. This is not new to me, but it is new to a lot of people listening, which is very exciting. This is exactly why I created On Air Acoustic, to get guys like you on the airwaves.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh mate, well, massively appreciate you guys. But finally. And it's also awesome that you're saying about how the challenges of music, because how many people would tell me, I don't know about yourselves, but people walk up to me and say, yeah, but it's easy, isn't it? You just sing. You just play guitar. I'm like, really? I'm like,
and or even worse, when they say, "Oh, you're so lucky because you can just play." I wish I could play guitar, and they don't know the hours and hours you spend practicing.
The 10,000 hours thing. And like, because I'm learning guitar at the moment, and I'm telling you now, like the finger bit, like that is like, once you get through that bit. I don't know. I don't know if you guys got any tips.
Then you just learn more difficult things to do once you've done that bit.
But it's when you take a break and you come back to it and you're trying to...
Oh no, that's brutal.
When it hurts,
So that must be a crazy thing, like when you're doing something for a studio, that you all kind of got to be prepared. Like, your voice has got to be prepared.
You're
like, you can't have any cuts on your fingers or anything that would happen. Like,
two of the 3 times we've been up, I had a cold, and then one of the times...
One of the times, so I was a chef, I'm not anymore, and I'd sliced one of the ends of my fingers off. And then the other time, I sprained my wrist at a Attila gig, and I came in with a sling on, and the producer's face was just... I made it work. I made it work. I took the sling off, ripped the solo, and then put it back on.
that's the band. Honestly, that's what I want. Ripped off the sling, ripped it up. Come on. That's a mad one. But how, like, what finger was it you sliced?
I don't remember. I think it was on this hand somehow. Oh no, do you know it was my thumb? I remember now it was my thumb, yeah. So it wasn't like end of the world situation.
Yeah, because you're trying to get, I've learned the thing of like, you know, having to get
your thumb around the neck.
Yeah, the neck of it, and then you've got to get, oh man. It's like, I'm learning it, man. Especially seeing Bob Dylan as well. I was like, no, I really want to play guitar. Like, I'm not going to aim that high, but as long as I can get something out, maybe blowing in the wind.
You can learn somebody like you. I'm sure Charlie will teach you.
Oh, the first ever On Air Acoustic, me collaborating.
That'd be wicked.
That's such a mad one. As long as it's at Watford.
Oh, of course.
Here we go. If Watford win the playoffs and end up in the Premiership next season, I've got to sing Somebody Like You with you guys.
Oh my god, 100%. We'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
We'll take you up on that.
Uh-oh. These recordings, these recordings get saved. We're talking of music. Let's leave it up to the professionals. What have we got next?
Let's do the CP.
Yeah.
CP Classic.
Alright, here we go.
Well, how can a man be so blind For what was right in front of his eyes has gone. And now to carry on when he knows he was wrong and he's left it too long. Well, now she's gone. Yes, it wears him down. Yes, it wears him out. Well, just a little too much. And yet you just run to him. Well, he can take you away, but your heart will still ache. And maybe I'm just a man who's caught up in something that he don't understand. So please don't tell me, because I'm not sure that I can bear any more. Well, just man up and say the line. For once in your life it might not be too late this time. Oh, but you won't know the truth. You don't read anything I do, and I thought that, well, I might have loved you. And yet you just run to him. Well, he can take you away, but your heart will still ache. And maybe I'm just a man who's caught up in something that he don't understand. So please don't tell me, because I'm not sure that I can bear any more. And I know I left it too long to say what was going on. Oh, but I really thought that I was dead wrong. Oh man, I hope it ain't too late to make this all okay. Or if there's some imaginary expiry date. Because just given the chance to hold your hand would be enough now to make me understand. So help me out once more to settle the score and lead me to your door. Or just look me in the eye like you've done so many times before.
It's ridiculous, man, like how talented you guys are.
Thank you.
My word, no rest for the Spacemen playing for On Air Acoustic on Vibe 107.6 right now. Woof, what can you tell us about that song?
That song was the first song I ever wrote.
Ever?
Ever. I didn't sing before. I wrote it in a pub without my guitar, and then I went to Dan for help because I didn't really know how to
Love that.
play that much guitar. And then since then, the name, it is my initials, but it wasn't, I didn't give it that name, it was Dan.
I gave him the name because it was one of them ones where we'd get back for an afters at uni and be like, go on Charlie, sing the song, get the guitar out.
Yeah.
Well,
you're that guy.
We made him be that guy because it is just such a nice song.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So the name stuck, and that's where that's come from. And then I think now we've chosen to record it because it was the first song I ever wrote, and it's had a journey of its own. So,
well, when I heard CP, I thought creative process.
there you go.
So I was like, oh, maybe this is like what we're going with this. But no, your initials, well, it can be both. Like, there you go.
Both, yeah.
Maybe you should, like, it would be really cool if one day, if you're up on, like, you know, a gig and leave it up to somebody else. Like, leave it up to the audience or the crowd to name that song.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. With songwriting, how different does it become when you don't play the guitar and then you learn to play the guitar? Like, how different does songwriting become? Does it become a bit easier?
For me, I'd say it's a bit easier. I think, because that was the first song I ever wrote, and I didn't really intentionally write it as a song, I just enjoyed writing, I guess, I don't know. But now I kind of scribble all my stuff down, and then I'll pick up a guitar, and I'll have a loop going, and then I'll just read random lines and see if anything sticks. So it's kind of fused between the two now, I think. Yeah.
So take me back to, you're writing that song for the very first time. What made you want to sit down and write music, or write a song at least?
I don't know, I think I've always been obsessed with music. I listen to a lot of it, and because we were kind of in bands before we went to uni.
We'd never finish a song.
Yeah, we'd never
be like,
finish a
those
song.
2 chords sound nice, let's have a bit.
Yeah, our drummer used to be the singer of that. He wrote all the songs. I started on drums, so it's like, I don't know really at the time what made me do it. I think it was just a bit of an outpour of emotions, and that was how I got it out at the time. And then I took it, I remember taking it to you the first night I had it, and you helped me figure it out on guitar, and then I was like, oh, I quite enjoy this, and that's
so interesting so did you guys meet at uni?
No, before uni.
Yeah.
So
our drummer Dan was our mutual friend, and I'd just been kicked out of a band.
Whoa. You can't just say, I've been kicked out of a band and think you can just run off with this.
I was passively kicked out of a band. They told me...
It was a bit like Jack Black in School of Rock.
They told me they were disbanding, and then I found out that they'd been secretly practicing without me.
Oh.
And, I was a bit upset about that.
I can imagine.
Understandably. I was better off without them. Clearly.
Yeah.
And Dan, our drummer, who's still our drummer now, I was mates with him, you were also mates with him, and he said that you were wanting to start up a band and introduced us. So our whole friendship has always been kind of around music and playing music together.
So is your ex-band still going?
I don't think so.
See, 1-0 to no rest for the Spacemen. So it's kind of cool. You guys have all got, so you used to play the drums?
I used to play the drums.
Oh yeah.
So does a drummer play guitar as a little bit as well?
No.
I don't know. I'm just seeing but how all of you might know, because, like, what is it, like, the Bohemian Rhapsody thing for Queen, where none of them really understand what each of them is doing. like Freddie Mercury might be like, just get on pick up your sticks and just be a drummer. So it's quite cool that you at least know.
Well, Charlie does.
Yeah.
Charlie is kind of the one who knows everything. Bit of bass, bit of drums, bit of singing, bit of guitar. Kind of keeps us all in line. Don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'd say Alex as well is a really his brain can tackle music theory, and so he knows what we should be doing.
You can always be like, we're in this key, use these notes, and then we can
count the frets and work.
It is always good. Like, I was going to get onto music theory because some people think like it is complete and utter rubbish. Like, you don't need it to write a song. But then some people are like, no, learn it. Like a friend of ours, like Chaz, like she's big on music theory. Like seriously, you can ask her any questions, she'll fire back an answer. But she's like, yeah, that's really important. Like, if the more you know, the better.
Yeah.
How do you guys all feel about it? I mean, if you've got Alex kind of knowing, at least you've got one in your corner.
I think
you need someone who knows.
Yeah.
I think it's a really useful tool to have. I mean, people like Charlie can just write a beautiful song not knowing the chords he's playing or the notes you're playing, but if you have someone who can say you're in this key, it gives you more options in a way. It points you in the right direction.
Because there's more music now than ever, and there's so many bands. Well, I mean, I say there's so many bands not really in the charts and like really getting there, but they're obviously cool. So there are loads of bands, and I just feel like it's one of those things that will set you different. Like, you have to have that sort of individuality now.
Definitely.
Like, to really set you apart. I mean, you've got the name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's already good. Now you've got the guy with music theory, and you guys have all got bits and pieces of each other's instruments.
Not to mention Charlie is devilishly handsome.
Hey.
Blushing over.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, but you all, see, this is the band thing, right? Can you only have one good looking guy, or can 4 guys? Because the Beatles, they were like always known as like the 4 sort of good looking guys. Is it bad to have 1 good looking guy? Is it better to have 4 good looking guys? Who knows?
We make it work.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the fans. I'm just
We've got 4 very, very handsome men.
Oh, there you go. See?
There you go.
Yeah.
No rest for the handsome men. There you go. if Spacemen doesn't ever work. With the Spacemen thing, actually, have you ever thought about your stage presence? Like, have you ever thought about the Spacemen? You guys have your smiles right now. You've had the conversation after uni drinking. You've had the conversation.
We've had the conversation.
We wore
and done it,
spacesuits to a gig at the Old Palace in King's Langley. It was was that the charity one, or was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was this tiny little pub. The place was packed, and these like tight little plastic suits, and we were sweating buckets for the whole thing.
We came down doing a moonwalk.
I know, yeah, we turned the lights off, we put like spacey sound effects on, came down. That is the first and last time we'll be doing that.
That's so cool. But you must have been absolutely boiling.
It was awful, yeah. I think I was.
They slowly fell down and came off.
I think I finished the gig in just a pair of shorts and nothing else, didn't I?
See, there you go. He might have the handsome thing, but you've got the you got the shorts, man.
I'm the shorts, man.
So we've got a brand new song out then. You know, the brand new single that's coming out.
That is
that is the CP Classic.
Oh, is the CP? That is the one.
That is the one. Yeah.
Oh wow! So it was the first one you ever wrote, but it's the 4th one you're actually releasing.
Yeah, I mean it's taken the longest to be happy with it because we've had it so long. It's changed so much, and also when you get to know a song for so long how it is, and then you start changing it, it becomes really hard to let go of how it was, or adding new bits. You kind of, I don't want that, I do want this, and you don't really know what you want. I think,
which I think is good, because when you have a song for that long, you're only going to add these bits if they are really, really good. So it set the standards quite high for what we were going to do when we took it to the studio.
Yeah.
And
well, in the end, it's ended up, I would say, a crossover between indie and country. On the actual
it is.
record.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, there's a bit of harmonica and stuff in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got some nice twangy guitar parts on.
Very Bob. Very Bob Dylan. Love this, guys. Yeah,
I'm really excited.
So when's that one coming out?
That's the 14th. 14th of March.
14th of March. So it's 20th of February now. Nice.
Yeah,
okay. You're teasing us.
Yeah.
Let's give it exciting. What's the kind of thing for you then, releasing a song? Do you all sort of go around someone's house in the studio waiting for it to drop, or do you just kind of wake up in the morning and go, song's on Spotify, isn't it?
Kind of, to be honest. Yeah.
Every time we say we're going to do something,
we always do a launch party, and
that'd be cool.
This one.
Yeah, maybe for this one.
Yeah.
I'll be around.
You'll be we're all so sick of making Instagram posts and everything promoting the song that by the time it's out, we can kind of take a breath of release and just be like, alright, we're done now.
How do you guys feel like when you're actually releasing a song? Because of course I've never done it before, but so how does it actually feel like the night before, like March the 13th, it's going to be here, and you're like, right, in 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it will be, this song's dropping. Like, how do you feel?
It's weird because like we've heard it 1,000 times before it's released.
Yeah.
But I'm still desperate to see it on Spotify actually out there, you know.
I was going to say, because we recorded the CP maybe 4 months ago, I want to say. So it's like we've had it for a long time.
Yeah.
Hearing it over and over again. And you kind of listen to it so much, you talk yourself out of it, get a bit anxious. And so when you're putting it on Spotify for people to hear, it's exciting, but also nerve-wracking at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. Because how do people get in contact with you guys? Is it all just on social media now?
Just social media for us, yeah.
And like I said, Dan, our drummer, is our admin guy, and he's just outreaching to venues and promoters.
Nice.
And anyone who will play our music or have us play somewhere, yeah.
Oh man, you're always welcome here. Like, get your files to us. Like, I'll play it on Raw Vibes every single time.
That'd be wicked.
Like, honestly, guys, get it in. Like, we'll absolutely get it on Raw Vibes. So talking of venues, gigs and everything, what's coming up for you guys?
Quite busy actually. It's quite a good time to do this. Local gigs. We are playing the Horns in St Albans.
Nice.
We've been there quite a few times. We love it. It's a great venue.
Yeah, it is.
It's a great venue. When's that, Charlie?
That's the 5th of April, I want to
say. The 5th of April, yeah, that rings well. Yeah, 5th of April. And then we're going back to the Old Palace again. Spacesuits may or may not be worn. And that's
the 17th of May.
That's the 17th of May.
Yeah. Nice.
And then we've got a few more in London. We're playing in Putney.
Next Friday, yeah.
Next Friday. We're doing a charity.
Which one's one in Putney?
The Old Moon?
The Half Moon.
Half Moon, yeah. Oh, that's a
It's
great
cool
venue.
Yeah, we played there last year and they're having us back. It's a great venue though.
That's a really, really cool venue.
Cool. Really nice.
There's another one as well around there. I can't remember what it's called now, which you need guys to get on. I'll find it out after the show and I'll let you know, like, you need to get on that one. So local venues, is that it about?
That's it for the local ones, yeah, because we're kind of doing local ones, then a London one, and then back to the local
Nice.
one. Yeah.
Love it. I've never been to the King's Annual one, so.
Yeah, you should come around.
So when is it? May the 17th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Might have to have a little look into this.
Have a look, man. Yeah, great,
It's like just a few days after my birthday as well. It's a little birthday party. Good birthday party. But no best
bye,
Go on. Yes. Well, I'll come in.
Yeah.
So how, like, we're now nearly coming out of winter. So festival season, this is where you start to put your stuff out for festival season. How is it going for you guys? Are you looking at festival season?
We are. It's honestly not one of our main priorities at the moment, but we are looking at festivals. We send our music to all the mini local festivals that are going, but we haven't got anything back yet, but we'll let you know if there is anything.
Yeah, of course. Let me know and I'll promote it.
Yeah.
Right, let's have the last song.
Cool.
Which will be, which one?
The Lion.
The Lion. So this is not released?
So this is unreleased, this one.
Is this next, have you ever played this on the radio before?
I don't think so.
Played it at Mix 92.7.
Oh, Steve.
Steve got
Yeah, Steve. I love
week.
Steve.
Yeah.
I love Steve. It's absolutely fine. If you played it with him, absolutely fine. Right, well, let's have it.
There we go.
The lion made me feel like I was alone, but sometimes maybe I'm just cold from picking up those pieces of those lies that I've told. And you say that all you want is the truth. Well, I'm sat here thinking of you. Well, what more can I do? 'Cause all the places I've been, the faces I've seen, well, they felt like a dream. You know, and all the time that I wish we had, it meant so much to me. And now could I say almost anything here that he'd believe? You know, it's just a comedy to me. Well, maybe all I wanted was you to see. And I don't think that I can hold this line for long. See, I'm giving in and that's your fault. And that's how I know I was wrong. But someday I will stop my pretend that you were just a friend. She said, you're certain this life has to end, 'cause all the places I've been, the faces I've seen, well, they felt like a dream. You know, and all the times that I wish we had, it meant so much to me. And now could I say almost anything here that she'd believe? You know, it's just a comedy to me. Well, maybe all I wanted was you to see. All the places I've been, the faces I've seen, well, they felt like a dream. You know, and all the times that I wish we'd had, it meant so much to me. And now could I say almost anything here that she'd believe? You know, it's just a comedy to me. Well, maybe all I wanted was you to see.
Just legendary. Like, honestly, this is what On Air Acoustic is all about. Like, you've just, like, this is everything that On Air Acoustic is about, and you've just done it. Like, you've completed it, you've smashed it.
Oh, thank you very much.
No, honestly, I'm really, really happy you guys are in the studio right now. And I think everyone listening, I think is like, wow. like absolutely incredible. I think you're going to get a lot more, well, hopefully a lot more fans out of this.
Yeah. But if you want to hear that one, you've got to come and see us live, because it's not going to be out for a long time now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, yeah, here we go. Like, more, released music. What have you got planned for this? Like, more released music? Of course, you've got this one coming out in March, but...
We've got some done, ready to go. We've got some more studio time booked, but we're
EP album?
Yeah, I think we're going to keep going with singles for the
Nice.
minute. We're going to keep going with singles.
It's just
still early
good.
doors.
And we've got so much we just want to get out and
We just wanna
experiment
release
with.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I kind of want to say, like, what's the sort of 5-year plan, but I think it's just, I think
It's
you
a
kind
week
of
plan, I think.
Yeah, barely know what we're
5-day
doing next
plan.
month.
It is cool, man. Like, I quite like that, like, just dropping singles here and there. It keeps it
Yeah.
kind of mysterious.
Yeah. I think it works with our approach quite well, because like we said, we're constantly working on our songs, developing our songs, and when we've got one that we're really happy with, we'll record it.
It's kind of like a what's next.
Yeah.
Which is really cool way of, I guess, really cool creative process and quite a good marketing way about it, because everyone's kind of going, well, now what? Like, this, like...
Never
but then
thought
again,
of it like that, but that's a really good way.
But then again, it's like, for me, I'm like, no, like, come on, no, like, come on. Like, because you're very, like, who's got some sort of, like, who's been influenced by Arctic Monkeys in the band?
I think both of us.
Someone has.
Yeah, it's us two who listened. When we first met and we were first making music
That
together,
was what we listened
we were
to.
both just obsessed with the Arctic
Exclusively,
Monkeys.
yeah.
Basically just the Arctic
Because
Monkeys.
that's why I think I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, because I can hear a bit of Arctic Monkeys in there. Which is one hell of a compliment. I don't, that's it, like, show over, like, but, I can hear it in it, and that's why I think I love it so much. Although everyone keeps saying to me, like, everyone who I keep, like, working with, they keep putting a speak on, they naturally put Arctic Monkeys on. They go, and I don't know if it's because of my age, like, I don't know if they just go, he must love Arctic Monkeys, like, if he's of that
Honestly,
age.
when I first saw you, I did think he probably likes Arctic Monkeys.
He doesn't.
Yes, I'll take it, you know what? You wait till they're in this studio.
Oh,
You wait till
okay.
right, we've got about a minute to go, so let's get your socials out there.
Oh yeah. So we're on Instagram. No rest for the Spacemen. It's the number 4. So no rest 4 as in the number, and then the Spacemen. We're on TikTok as well if you want some hilarious content. What's the TikTok? I think it's just no rest for the Spacemen.
Yeah.
It's
just look for the dog. That's our logo.
The
That's
space
our
I love
dog
that
image,
logo, by the way.
the Space Dog, yeah.
So if you ever lost, look for the dog.
Because I was going to put it on, I was going to try and find a band picture of you earlier, but then I was like, I like the logo. I was like,
The logo's
I'm
really
going to put that one on my
cool,
social.
yeah.
I like that one.
Our friend Eve is a great graphic designer.
Yes.
She did that for us. Shout out to Eve.
Love that.
Brilliant.
Well, boys, honestly, there's nothing more to say. Like, you've
Thank
absolutely smashed on Air Acoustic tonight for Vibe 107.6. And I just think you've got, the perfect thing going here. And I think it's a very, very exciting time for No Rest for the Spacemen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
We're really
thank you
great.
very
I think I'll come back to this interview and I'll say, hey, I was there. Right, that is it for this week. Thank you so much to everyone tuning in for listening. Same time again next week. Right, have a good one.